good.
Back for another one.
Yes. Are you feeling good about your weekend? Your kids are going to compete.
I am. We're getting close to the end, and I'm excited. We got 26 kids that qualify for South State, so I'm really excited about the position they're in. Their mindset is where it needs to be. So it's just now they got to go do it. It's not up to me anymore.
Amazing. Yes. Did you find that really hard? Like, how does your mindset shift when someone else is doing the work? Like, I have a really hard time not being super anxious.
So the very first, I have a long jumper that I told you about last time,
Mm-hmm.
and she pulled a Brittney Reese on me. She fouled her first two, and it was one of those meets that you know how we have in qualifications. You just want to either hit the mark, move on to the next round, and make sure in the top 12. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be in the top 4. So I'm just telling her, you know, you have the top jump. Just run and jump, and we're done.
Yeah.
She goes and fouls the first 2. I'm like, oh my Lord. I said, okay, just move back. Just at this point, just jump. She runs and jumps 18 feet, wins the thing. I'm just like my heart couldn't take it. I was like, I now understand how my coaches feel.
Yeah.
When I was doing that today. So,
yeah.
Other than that, she's in great position.
Yeah. So those last attempts, like coming in clutch, we have an athlete that was announced this week for Prefontaine that did exactly that in Doha in 2019, in the shot put. And I want to really lean into that because I know that you've put pressure on people before in last rounds. Yes. And Joe Kovacs absolutely did. Do you know the story of Doha 2019 World Championships?
Please fill me in.
So men's shot put at the Doha World Championships in 2019. Tom Walsh, who is also coming to Prefontaine, started the party with 22.90 first round. And like at the time, like this was prior to Ryan Krauser world record holder. This was before Ryan Krauser had won, who's also coming to Prefontaine. Like these are the big 3 of Prefontaine, of the shot put coming to Pre. So Tom threw 22.90. Like I forget how big of a PR it was, but first round like comes out swinging and really sets the standard for the competition. And then watching him like get after it in the ring on every other attempt, like he was going for 23 meters. He was going for the world record. Like at the time that was only 22 centimeters short. And he had already like done what he needed to do to make everybody else sweat. But Ryan comes in, throws 22.90 as well. Same distance, but he has like other attempts. So he has the count back. Right. And Tom fouled the rest of his throws. Like he did not have another fair throw, but it only takes one, right? And so, yes. So at the very end, throws Brittney 22.91.
Those 2, though.
Yeah.
You know I used to train together?
Yeah, Ryan and Joe in Chula Vista. Yeah. Yes. And I just like the Ryan Krauser now is obviously not the same person, but just like the gratitude of all 3 of them in that competition was so cool. And I felt like it truly accelerated the entire event because top 8 was ridiculous as well, like in Doha. But these 3 are the only 3 to ever repeat a shot put podium at the Olympics.
Wow. I know.
The exact same order, which is wild. So Ryan, Joe, Tom in that order, gold, silver, bronze. And then they did it again in Tokyo. Like, yeah. So Tom is just that person who like starts strong, knows his strengths, like will play to them and just be who he is in a competition. Joe will pop off at any moment. And Ryan Krauser is now like the most consistent shot putter of all time. And I'm so excited to see them battle again.
the shot put is one of those events, the men's shot put. I mean, I love the women's shot put too, but the men's shot put has elevated. And like you said, Ryan and Joe have elevated that event. And it's one of those events that you just it's a must see. Because you don't know if Ryan's going to break the world record again or Joe's going to try to, beat Ryan. Those one of those battles that go back and forth. But Ryan has taken off.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story with Joe is when we trained in Chula Vista. I homeschooled my son. He used to call Joe Kovacs the Hulk. He loved to go over there and watch Joe throw and call him the Hulk. So I know when he sees him the next time, he's like, he's a big guy. But
yeah. And he's not wrong. Like, Joe is the current modern representation of Adam Nelson with like the passion and the yelling and stuff. Yeah. And speaking of kids, Ashley had twins in the fall of 2022, his wife and coach. And Joe told me last year before pre, like I was down on the field during practice, and he said this year was just practice, like with twins and travel for the Olympic year. And he goes and wins the Diamond League final, wins Prefontaine in 2023. And like I told people all year, I was like, you should be so scared of Joe because if he is crushing it in this like first season as a dad, they know how to medal at every global championship. And I cannot wait to see what happens. Like, because Ryan Krauser is Ryan Krauser now. Like it
is. You just at this point when Ryan steps into the ring, you just expect the world record.
But at some point, he will be stoppable, right? And like Joe and Tom and a like whole new crop of young athletes that we'll see if they show up to pre as well, like are knocking on the door. And that's so exciting for the sport in general because like the rising tide like raises all ships, and like those guys have been chasing their hardest. Peyton Otterdahl just threw 22:59 at Drake Relays.
See?
Massive PB. So it's going to be super exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for the shot put for sure. But those three are going to set the standard, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see some huge throws out there. Definitely.
Yeah, and everyone else can see them too. There's a promotion that's happening currently because Ryan Krauser is the world record holder, 23:56. Tickets in certain sections where you can see the shot put really, really well are $23.56.
Ooh, that's a steal.
It's a steal, and it's so clever because I believe, I could check a map, but very good views of the shot put, and therefore enviable seats anyway at Hayward Field for $23.56.
It'll be well worth it, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. There are going to be some huge throws, and it's going to be a great competition for them. I'll grab those tickets if I was there.
100%. I'm going to make a sign. I don't know what it's going to say yet, but I really enjoyed that last year.
I have a nice little quote. Are you going to make it rhyme or something?
Maybe. I forget. I had an RC23, like that's his in the throwing world nickname, RC23. And if Ryan Krauser, if and when, has one more competition at 23 plus meters, mm-hmm. all 10 of his top 10 marks will be over 23 meters.
Wow.
All 10 of them. Currently his 10th best mark is 22.94. Like it's super, super close. It's ridiculous. And like he has more than 10 23 meter throws like within a series. I think he's like 15, but meets like competitions over 23, he will have 10 total like the next time he breaks 23 meters. There are 4 men that have ever thrown 23 meters.
And he has about to have the top 10.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's so cool. I also think so World Championships last year was Ryan's second outdoor World Championship. He won his first outdoor championship at Hayward in front of his home crowd. Like he's from Oregon, coolest thing ever. But in Budapest, he traveled to Hungary with blood clots in his leg. Like he had this medical issue prior to Worlds. And then his dad, Mitch Krauser, has said this, and I don't know if Ryan has been as explicit about it, but like that throw, like the 23:51, very close to the world record at world championships with this like medical issue. I just truly think that he's like understood his technique in a way that's so scary for the 24-meter mark. And that like didn't feel as true before world championships last year, but like the way he got right back into training, the way that he always challenges himself, like he's such a student of every sport in a way that informs his shot putting, that I cannot wait to see. Yeah, but again, everyone is chasing him.
He's definitely mastered the shot put to where it's just like get in the ring, throw. He's mastered it.
It's amazing.
It is, definitely.
So tell me about the women's triple jumpers. We announced those this week too.
We have a doozy. So we have Shanika Ricketts from Japan. We have Beck Romachik from the Ukraine. And we have Couture Orgy from the USA. And two of those women are used to long jump.
Okay, but they're tripling.
So, and I had the opportunity to compete against those two women in the long jump. Beck is one of them. She's a 2-time world champion, silver medalist in the triple jump in Budapest.
Okay.
Silver medalist in the long jump also. So she decided to switch over in 2022 to the triple jump. And so far it's been paying off for her. So excited to see her. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the former Olympian this year in the triple jump due to injury. So it's kind of wide open for these ladies to snag that gold medal this year. Shanika has a really good opportunity. She's a 2-time world silver medalist also in Eugene and in Oregon. And with a personal best of 15:03. So 15:03 is the magic number.
Yeah.
15 meters is the magic number for triple jump. So I feel like anybody that can jump that, it's just like the long jump. You jump 7 meters, you're going to get a medal. Jump 15 meters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tori, who's young and in the Bowerman Award winner in college, still up and coming. Her personal best is 14:91. So again, she's right on the cusp of 15 meters. She's been getting fourth a lot, so I'm pretty sure this is that year for her. She switched over to a new coach, and I'm pretty sure she's gearing up and getting ready for what she needs to do to snag her medal. And I feel like this might be her year.
Yeah, because she was consistent indoor, right? Like she had a really good indoor season.
She has really good seasons. It's just, when that time comes, I think she's finally gotten the rhythm, and she's always in the final.
Yes.
That one little piece that's holding her back, and I figure this is the perfect year to get it together. And I feel like that coaching switch probably help her. So I'm excited to see the women's triple jump for sure. A lot of them are looking for their first Olympic medal. All three of them, actually.
Yeah, that's amazing that Beck, the Ukrainian, you said she just started tripling in 2022.
She just switched over, and then I was competing when she did it. I was like, oh, she did triple jump and she got a medal too. The same.
That's wild. So, you never had any ideas about being a triple jumper? Or?
I did it in college.
You thought all you needed to see.
The knees. I don't got the knees for no triple jump. But I'm more power to. I love to watch. It's one of those events that's real technical.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful thing to see when you do it right. So it's one of those things I'm excited to see how Couture and the rest of the ladies, compete and gun it out for that medal now that the Olympic champion is not going to be around this year. So it opens up a lot of doors for a lot of athletes.
Yeah. How do you stay calm when that opportunity presents itself? Like, did you have a moment where you're like, now is my time? Or did you just decide that now was your time? Like, you were so good for so long.
Yeah, 2008 was when I figured, this is my time. it was my first Olympics, and I didn't do too well. And I was like, I was competing. I mean, I did all right. I think I got fifth. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, time to train and really take it serious because I really wasn't taking it serious. Started taking it serious, and great things started happening when I taken it serious. And I knew I could compete with those ladies. So, and if I knew I wanted to win, I was going to have to do everything right. So.
And like you said, jump 7 meters. Like it's almost virtually a lock. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the javelin, that was like in the beginning of my career, probably more like 64 and a half, 65. And there were definite powerhouses. So like, I think it's so easy as a younger athlete to like see opportunity and feel it as a burden instead of like staying in your own lane and rising to that challenge of there being an opening at the top. Yeah, and like the two-time Olympic champion Rojas, she like those are such big shoes to fill, like metaphorically and physically.
Watching her, she's a great competitor. She's one of those goes and get it and makes it happen, and one of those it only takes one jump to get it done. I've seen her in situations where she was down in like fifth or sixth, and that last jump is crazy. It's insane. She brings out that inner beast on her also. So I'm glad I'm not glad, but I'm just upset about the situation of her, not going to be able to compete this year. But I'm glad it gives the other ladies the opportunity to show what they got. So I feel like it's going to be a great battle because now it's like, who's up next?
Yeah. And in an Olympic year, like that's so exciting for sure. Yeah. I went to an event last night, and it was about like mental health and athletes. Like I got to present with a psychologist that I really respect, and one of the things I thought about a lot, because we were talking about process versus outcome, like how do you stay focused on your kind of day to day, like the bricks that you're laying in your own foundation, and really take strength from that. And did this phrase ever drive you as crazy as it drove me? When you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Yes, I don't like that.
Like, get out of my face with it. Like I fail. Like, why are we talking about failure? It makes me crazy. So I was talking to Dr. Chapman about like this phrase, and I was in the car, and I was just like, why don't we say it the other way? Like when you succeed in your preparations, you're preparing to succeed. Like, so that's such a different mindset to like go into practice being like, I am preparing to succeed right now. And I think that's the only way I was ever successful, when I saw like those giant opportunities that I knew I wasn't prepared for yet.
Right.
Just had to like take the day by day and make sure it worked out in the end. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one though.
And Katura's won like a lot of national championships at Hayward Field. So
she has a lot of championships. She has 4 national championships, just outdoor alone. Indoor, she has 3, and then in college, she won 5 national champions and 6 national outdoor national championships. So she's not prone to winning.
Yeah. But that international stage, like that step up, but maybe Prefontaine is like a really good opportunity for her to kind of test her wings, like on that bigger stage in a place that she's comfortable. And I know she's gone there before and done well.
Yeah. I had a great opportunity with training with Couture for like 2 or 3 years when I was in shooting distance. So I kind of know what she's up against. And for her, she's ready for it. I can tell you that. She's ready for that breakthrough. She's ready for that opportunity for her to step up to the next level. So again, this could be that year that she hits that 15-meter mark. She's always just so close. And, that breakthrough for her, that opportunity presents itself this year, and I feel like she'll take it.
Awesome! I can't wait to watch.
Me too.
I'm a huge Couture fan. I'm really excited.
I love that.
Yeah, we're just gonna show our American bias. It's fine.
Got to.
So the third and final event that we're going to talk about is like Brittney, arguably the most competitive women's field event to make a team, in my opinion. Pole vault is also up there, but women's hammer is wild.
Crazy.
Wild. And I know that like shifts all the time, but for the last like 5 years, these women have been throwing so far. And one of the kind of genesis points of that was Deanna Price, who will be at Prefontaine. So she's one of our announcers. I am amazed by her. 2019 world champion. She like just kind of same as Katora, like burst onto the professional scene like right out of college and made her first Olympic team. I think as a senior in the NCAA still, and just it was so consistent so early and blew the doors off of like what women's hammer in the United States was. And then just like Ryan Krauser, like everybody rose up to meet her.
Yeah.
And, you know, in some ways passed her due to injury and stuff, but she like came roaring back into form in 2023 with bronze in Budapest. So all three of these women, Cameron Rogers, Janae Kasana-Boyd, and Deanna Price, have now multiple world championship medals. And they're all from North America. And like, that's revolutionary as well. Like, it's such a fun thing to watch different parts of the world, like figure something out.
I agree. And the hammer throw has been down for a couple of years. And then now all of a sudden it just burst onto the scene in one of those events that, like you said, are just one of those top, most competitive events now.
Yeah. So Deanna's U.S. record, she was the second woman ever to throw 80 meters. Mm-hmm. It's 80-31. And Anita Waldnerczek of Poland was like on top of the world forever for so long. Yes. And she only wasn't in Doha. I think that was the year she got like mugged and she like tore a tendon in her leg, like chasing the person that broke into her car and had this really weird injury. So she wasn't there, which doesn't mean that Deanna wouldn't have stepped up and won. Right. But yeah, it's been super fun to A, watch Anita come back as well. But B, watch Deanna return to form after some pretty ridiculous injuries in Tokyo 2020. She had like multiple surgeries right after that games. Janae Kasana-Boyd, who is featured on Road to Tracktown on YouTube this season number 2. I adore the grit of Janae.
I love her.
She's incredible. And I like, this is so me as an American like sports fan. I remembered her Olympic trials in 2021 as being so much more devastating than they were, which is also wrong because she got 4th. Mm-hmm. So like, I remember it being not that good, right? Like I applied this veil of like not even remembering the details to Janae's experience. I just knew that she didn't make the team and it sucked, right? Yeah. But 4th place is arguably harder because you're so close, and the way that she has like buckled down and made every team sense and made it onto the podium with not the best PR in the group of people is like the coolest thing ever to watch. I love it so much.
That's some heart.
Yeah, gritty. Knows exactly who she is, like is so proud to be a member of Comanche Nation and like leans on family and her community so much to like keep elevating herself and the people around her. It's such a joy to see her do well. So I can't wait to see her like redeem herself at Olympic trials this summer, but have yet another positive experience like in this ring at Hayward during Prefontaine, because she crushed it at nationals last year too.
Yeah, she definitely did. I'm excited for her too.
Yeah. And then, did you know that I'm half Canadian?
I did not.
I don't have citizenship, but it means that I'm a particular fan of Cameron Rogers. And she is just like, if anybody watching hasn't seen the video of her and her British teammate from Cal, Anna Purchase, like after Budapest last year, because Cameron won the gold, but Anna is like in the competition, and the like music that Anna put to the reel of her and Cameron like hugging after she wins gold, like made me sob. Like I was all up in my feels, like watching this. I don't know Anna, like I've never met her. But I adore Cameron Rogers, as everyone should. And that like community part too, like having Cal teammates, having professional teammates who like stick around at Cal. There's such a cool group of throwers there with Mo Satara as their coach, and it's just like so fun to watch them succeed. So, and Cameron, again, like just like Deanna, left college and was immediately like a force in the international ranks. Like she was, I think, 20 years old in Tokyo and was like 5th or 6th place in the final. She was like the first Canadian hammer thrower to make an Olympic final. Like she absolutely crushed it. And then for her to have been kind of laying that groundwork, and then Ethan Katzberg on the men's side to win the world championship in the men's hammer, and and Cameron, like for them to both be from British Columbia and sweep worlds was like so cool. But she's also someone that is just so consistent all the time. Like I looked up last year, she didn't have a meet under 76.12.
Oh yeah, that's consistency.
Yeah. And she competed a lot. Like it wasn't like 3 competitions over 75. It was like 10 to 12 like competitions with 76.12 being the floor. So she's just like ready to go at all times. And a couple of her NCAA championships, I believe she set the collegiate record at Hayward. So going to pre in her first kind of full season as a professional after finishing her eligibility indoors last year will be super cool to watch her.
Hayward magic. Yeah. Everybody always does well there.
It's the best. And I honestly love the hammer, like the hammer field outside the stadium.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
And because the schedule like takes the throws into account, right? Like there's time to walk between like stadium and stadium to watch the shot put and hammer to watch the hammer. And it's just like a super cool example. Like if you could get closer to the triple jump runway to understand like how people are moving, like you get that opportunity at Hayward with the hammer, and it's super fun. And really from any seat in the house, because of the new stadium that we've both agreed that we love.
Close and personal, get to really see.
Super fun.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, get your tickets now. 2356, sections 218 and 219 for a limited time.
We can get them tickets. Hurry up too. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. I counted up like Joe and Ryan both have 13 career Diamond League titles, like Diamond League meet wins, not necessarily the final, but like 13 overall meeting wins. Tom only has 12. And he's not a particularly like strong early season starter. I will poke the bear a little bit there by saying that out loud. But he's also the only one of them that hasn't won the Prefontaine Classic. So in terms of chip on your shoulder, like those are really good ones. So he can settle the score
He really could.
of Diamond League meets and win pre for the first time.
Love to see it. Anything
Well, I'm really
to grow further.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I did a really fun like tournament of best throw performance in the world with Joe Frontier of the Throw Big Throw Forward podcast and Dan McQuaid, who writes for McThrows.com last year, like in the fall after the 2023 season. So Ari and I like came up with the 16 best performances, 32 best performances in the throws, like in brackets, like javelin, hammer, shot put, and discus. And the final came down to Loggy winning world championships and Ryan winning world championships. No, Ryan's world record. That's what the people chose. But it was so fun to like pit people against each other. And the poking of the bear is that Tom Walsh was not one of the performances. Like he had a fantastic Prefontaine, like excellent series, but just other stuff happened throughout the year that was like very easy to argue.
It's hard to argue with a world record.
Yes. And again, with the blood clots, 2351.
Yeah,
so Ryan was the only one in the men's shot that had 2 performances.
Yeah,
so Tom's just gonna have to step it up.
He's just gonna have to throw.
And you know he wants that 23-meter mark. Like,
most definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
He You gotta. That's it, again when we talk about certain distances that athletes want to succeed. It'd be 23 in the shot. So
Yep.
23 get you a medal.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's so much like on the line kind of in this early season, proving yourself to yourself and to your competitors. And it's wild that there's only been one Diamond League meet so far, but there's another one tomorrow and two more before Prefontaine at the end of the month. So people, do you follow the Diamond League standings at all early season, or do you wait till the end?
A little bit. I follow the long jump. I'd just be interested to see who steps up and want to grab that Diamond League trophy.
Yeah. It all just it accelerates so much at the end, and like so much can change. But when you do groundwork early and earn those points, like at these early season Diamond League meets, like a lot can feel better.
Yes.
Yeah.
The earlier you get them points, the better it's all for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the top performers don't really do all the Diamond Leagues, so it can be somebody that never expect to make that Diamond League final.
Mm-hmm. And then surprise people. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
So Pre will be the first men's shot put Diamond League meet, which I'm excited about. Also, I looked up the head-to-head tool on World Athletics, like on people's profiles, is one of my favorite things ever. So Tom and Joe, Joe has 35 wins over Tom's 34.
Ooh.
In their careers. So again, like even more reason for Tom Walsh to like come out with just a blazing performance at Prefontaine.
Listen to this so they can be like, oh yeah, I need to get that.
Yeah.
It's up time.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can't wait to see the hammer throwers battle too. Like since they shared a podium last year, that they'll feel really good about that competitiveness, like knowing that they're sharp against each other and have the audience like right next to them in the women's hammer. I really, really love that Prefontaine includes the hammer, even though it's not a Diamond League competition, like it's not a Diamond League event. But it means so much to throwers to have that inclusion.
I think this is the first one for be a good matchup for the triple jump. Also, for the fans are right there, and they'll have a great competition where hopefully we do get to see somebody bust a 15 out early and get the season rolling and move that on over to the Olympics. So
yeah, put the pressure on early. 100%.
Yeah, pressure on early. Yes.
Cool. Well, I will be home tomorrow whenever the Xiamen already happened. Shanghai Diamond League is happening. I will for sure be watching. And like again, the Diamond League season, like the separation of events, the distribution of them is like a little wild. So this is the second of 4 women's discus Diamond League competitions, and all 3 of our athletes, I believe, are also in China again tomorrow. So we'll be tuning in, and everybody can follow along with their points prior to the Prefontaine, and then know exactly what they need to keep moving forward.
Moving forward, get to that final. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Final.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. It's been good. Let's hope for some great competition and more great athletes to join in, and we can get this ball rolling. I'm ready to watch.
The finishing of like the high school season, the collegiate season, and then just acceleration into the pros, like it just goes faster every year, which means you got to pay attention. You got to stay tuned in.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.